Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
We are ready, Chrissy, for our lives to change.
Yeah, we're getting, and apparently all you have to do is get back to the basics to make it happen. Dr. Andrew Iverson is here with his new book, and it's called Nature's Diet. So, Dr. Iverson, what is it exactly that you do? What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a naturopathic physician, which is very similar to a medical doctor. Instead of looking to drugs as the first option, we look to what's their person's eating, their food,
really,
their lifestyle, their thoughts.
Okay,
yeah.
So you wrote the book. Tell me about, what is the book about, Nature's Diet?
Nature's Diet, very simply speaking, is about getting back to basics. There's nothing new about Nature's Diet. Nature's Diet has been around since humans have been alive.
What is Nature's Diet?
Nature's Diet is getting back to the way that animals eat.
How is that?
Well, today we eat mostly foods that are processed, canned.
Well, I'll hold it for you.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, so today we do the mostly canned, processed kind of stuff.
We eat foods that are in stores or restaurants. And less than 100 years ago, we ate food that was from the earth.
Right.
Our grandparents' food.
Hunters, foragers, that kind of thing.
You better believe it.
Right.
And in the past 100 years, we've seen an increase in heart disease, cancer, diabetes.
And you think there's a direct link?
Many studies are showing that there's a direct link, particularly because America, which is one of the most wealthy countries in the world, tend to have a lot of these illnesses which are predisposed to people that have more money.
So what do we do? How do we change our diets? What's the first thing you say?
Well, the first thing is not to eliminate everything, because then we decide that we don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
We want to slowly add in day by day by day. And when you start to add in the good stuff and you start to feel better in your life, then the stuff that not so good for you is easier to let go.
You forget it. What are some examples of some good stuff?
Water. Your body's almost all water, so that's a great place to start. A lot of people don't realize that inflammation is the start of so many illnesses.
Right.
Inflammation, it's hot, it's red, it's burning, and your body's on fire. How do you put out a fire?
Right. You put water
on it. And so it's important to take water all day long. People don't realize that water is not just coffee. Coffee actually drains the body of water. It's not juice. Animals don't drink juice. Animals don't drink coffee.
Let's talk about you have these really cool myths that you kind of debunk in the book, and the way you set it up is kind of neat. Let's start with tuna, ahi, and mahi are healthy fish choices. Is this fact or fiction?
Well, many people think that fish are quite healthy for you, but the realization is that these fish are so high up on the food chain that by the time they get to us, they have accumulated so many toxins, and of course mercury is one of them we're concerned about.
So that's actually counterproductive, you think, then?
Well, mercury is a neurological toxin. It's an incredibly toxic heavy metal.
When you get toxic from something like that, do you just get cloudy-minded, or is it like, does it really like put you in the hospital? I mean, is it subtle, or is it something that you can look at and call something?
It's subtle. It's something to the effect of most people don't realize who have high blood pressure that they have it. And so here you could be accumulating heavy metal toxicity over the course of years, and we really don't know that we're getting that until possibly we start to see those effects.
Okay. Foods listed as fat-free, sugar-free, or diet are healthy alternatives.
They're catch-me foods. You see them and you want to get them because, of course, you want to be skinnier and we want to look better. But the reality of it is many of the healthy substances have been replaced for food substances that are chemical-based. And those chemical bases have been around for such a short period of all of history, we really don't know the impacts of some of these chemicals over the long period of time. NutraSweet or some of the artificial sweeteners, we really don't understand what that's going to be like. Cane sugar's been around for all of time immemorial.
And so it's better to kind of know your poison than to not know your poison?
I would say I would much rather choose a poison that's been around the planet for all existence than one that man has made in 50 years. So
drinking water at each meal is the best way to stay hydrated. Is that true or false?
I think that's a real fallacy.
Really?
Well,
How?
Well, a couple different reasons. Number one, the most times people drink water that's ice water.
Okay.
Your body's 98.6 degrees.
Okay.
If it's cold outside and you're dumping more cold water inside, it takes extra energy for your body to, of course, raise that up. And for some people who have metabolic imbalances or potentially have some types of illnesses, their body cannot recuperate from that very well. The other part of it is, when you dump water in on a digestive system that has these wonderful acids that are supposed to turn meat into soup, well, what happens when you pour water in the acid and it dilutes it? Is your meat going to get turned into digestive?
So what do you drink with your meals, and how do you drink your water?
Nothing. You don't drink anything with your meals.
Really?
And you allow your body to digest that food, and then once the food's digested, then you can drink water in between your meals.
How much water do you drink?
It really depends on the person. Average person, of course, as we've kind of heard, is about half your body weight in ounces. So if you're about 100 pounds, about 50 ounces, but sipping all day long. The whole idea is that if you drink down too much at one time, it's going to just pass right out of you. So.
Okay. Dr. Iverson, we got to have you back. We're having you back in the 9 o'clock hour because we have a lot more questions. Stick around. We're gonna ask the doctor more questions about this because I wish we had more time now, but we'll see you back in the 9 o'clock.
We'll have fun.
Shali?
What?
Oh, I should ask him.
What?
What about wine with dinner? What am I going to do? We'll talk to him.
That's day 21.
It's the day 21. We'll see you back here in the 9.
3 weeks without that? Aye. Okay.